Hey yo, what's good YouTube? The brand new ban list just dropped and you already know this only happens twice a year and it's already shaking up the entire meta game. Malice, the former queen of tier 1, just got smacked hard, losing one more copy of Dourmous, aka its best starter, and Splash Mage, one of the strongest extenders that the deck had going for it. Everyone's wondering, is Malice dead? Is it still tier 1? Is there even hope playing the deck anymore? Well, today I'm going to show you how the Sky Striker engine breathes new life into this deck. I'll break down the updated deck profile, then at the end of the video I'll run a test hand and combo guide to prove that even after the ban list, Malice can still cook up a crazy tier 1 end board, even through interruptions. So let's dive in straight into the deck profile. So to start off, we are running 3 Engage and 1 Hornet drones. So this is the new addition to the deck. Prior to the recent additions to Malice, Sky Striker actually was one of the original engines that Malice did used to run. So we're kind of going back to it. This pretty much works as 3 extenders, Engage. Going into Hornet drones gets you 2 extra bodies on board. Again, I'm still very new at testing this engine in the deck. I'm still not sure if this is the best route, but I feel like as a Sky Striker player, I just had to add it to the deck just to see what we can eventually cook up with this deck. Then it's a sad day, only 1 Dourmous, 2 White Rabbit. This is still very standard. Running 3 Chessy Cat, I feel like this is a new mandatory change. We definitely have to be running all of our names. So 3 Chessy Cat is mandatory now. As is 3 March Hare, one of the best extenders the deck has. Everything else is still pretty much the same. 2 Underground, 1 Terraforming, 1 Malice in the Mirror, 1 Gold Sark. One of the other new additions, we are running MTP07, GWC, and TB11. I'm not sure if this is optimal. However, I feel like we have to be running TB11. It makes Chessy Cat, it makes White Rabbit a starter by drawing TB11 plus one of those cards. We just want to optimize our engine as much as possible and making it as strong as possible. And I feel like cards like TB11, they work around hand traps because the deck definitely loses a lot harder to hand traps now that Splash Mage is banned. But yeah, again, still very new at testing this deck, but I feel like this is definitely going to be the optimal way to play, running all 3 of the trap cards. Then we're running 3 backup, 1 wizard. Backup at Ignister is still our best extender and just a very broken card. Then one addition I feel like that we have to be adding now is 1 of all of the buy-still cards. You can even run a higher buy-still package if you wanted to, adding 2 more ball drakes. I just feel like it just adds so much extension for the deck. And again, with Splash Mage being banned, we need as many extenders as we can get. Since the deck doesn't really run too many 1-card starters, I know a lot of people were waiting for Malice to get hit. I honestly feel the deck was pretty fair even prior to the ban list. Now it's definitely I would say maybe tier 2 deck. I don't know. I feel like it's just high-end rogue at the moment. Again, I had to see what people eventually cook up for it, but I feel like cards like the buy-stills definitely need to be added because you need that extension to play through hand traps. Then we're running 3 Nibs, 3 Ash, 3 Fualos, and then 1 Called By, 1 Cross Out, and 1 Triple Tactic Talents. I just feel like these 3 cards are definitely important. Again, with the theme of playing through hand traps and having extension and just being able to not lose to a single hand trap. I feel like the deck definitely loses really hard to hand traps. So having these 3 cards as backup, being able to draw 2 cards, dig into your deck a little bit, and then just having backup with Cross Out and Called By. I do not own Dominus Impulse or Purge. I just feel like for that $90, I feel like I'd rather be buying a few deck cores than spending that extra $100 just to make Malice a little bit stronger. But again, that's just me. I don't really play too competitively regionals or YCSs or anything like that. If you do plan to attend those, I definitely recommend playing those cards because I feel like even just using them in Master Duel makes the ceiling of the deck a lot higher. But again, spending the extra $100 to have a 5% stronger hand is not really something I feel is optimal for my specific situation. But again, if you do plan to play the deck, if this is your 1 main solo deck, you definitely would have to have the impulses in here. And then with those impulses, you'd want to have infinite permanence as well. Then going to the extra deck, Kagari, obviously running the Sky Striker engine, you have to be running Kagari. Everything else is pretty standard. I do have Link Spider, Almirage, Link Rebo. I know a lot of people are adding the Link Disciple, and it gives you an extra link in the graveyard for your access code talker. Don't own the card, but I feel like that is probably one of the additions I will add. I don't know which card I'll be taking out for now. This is the extra deck I got. Very standard, Haggard Lizardos, you got all of the names. I'd probably end up taking out a Typhon, eventually even Topologic Bomber maybe for the Link Disciple. I feel like I do want to start experimenting. There has to be other cards that we can be adding, or even adding the Fiendsmith package. That might be the line to go. I'm still not sure. I'm not sure what I'm going to be doing with this deck, but for now, this is what we got. This is the extra deck. So I'm going to go into a quick test hand, showing you hopefully what the deck can still do. You know what, I'm actually gonna just take Hornet Drones out, just because I do want to show you guys what happens when we draw either Engage or Hornet Drones, and see what other 4 cards we can get. So we have Hornet Drones right there. Let's see what else we got. So we got Cross Out, Hash Blossom, March Hare. So typically we are gonna see, okay, never mind. We got Dourmous, a lot more hand traps, and maybe unplayable hands. But of course, we draw our single Dourmous with our first hand. If we didn't get it, I probably would have done another test hand, just because I do want to show you guys what a good hand looks like. And I feel like this is definitely a good hand. Going second, maybe not so much. I mean, we still can break boards with Malice. And we have enough gas here to hopefully break a board, but we still have Ash Blossom. Going first, Ash Blossom's even better, because I feel like if they did have a Molcharmy, we can definitely stop them. We're gonna go ahead, start the combo off. We're gonna go ahead, activate our Hornet Drones. Hornet Drones will, of course, do a token. Then from there, we're gonna go into our Kagari. Go ahead, link off our Hornet Drones token. Kagari is gonna go ahead and add us back our Hornet Drones back to our hand. So from there, we're gonna go ahead, activate Hornet Drones once again, getting another token on our side of the field. Now we can go ahead and do typical Malice stuff. Normal summoning our Dourmous. Dourmous is gonna go ahead and banish our White Rabbit from our deck. From there, we're gonna go ahead, pay the life points, and special summon our White Rabbit to our side of the field. Now, Rabbit can go ahead and get our TB11 set to our side of the field. I'm gonna go ahead and keep it face up just so you guys know what's there. We're gonna go ahead and use all 3 of these. This is the token, by the way, and go into our Red Ransom. From there, Red Ransom can go ahead and grab us our Malice and Underground. But you know what? I think I'm gonna do something a little different with this test hand. Usually I don't show you guys what happens if we get interrupted. But I'm gonna go ahead and pretend that we did get either, I don't know, Infinite Permanence or Purge. And we're not going to be able to get our Malice and Underground. And even interrupted, we should probably still end on a crazy board, just because we did get lucky and draw Dourmous. So again, I'm going to pretend that we were interrupted. Obviously, we can TB11, chain it, banish our Red Ransom. But again, I'm just going to go ahead and stop our Red Ransom. For whatever reason, they stopped it. We weren't able to respond. Now we can go ahead, TB11, just banish our Red Ransom. And then TB11 is going to go ahead and special summon our Chessy Cat. Red Ransom is going to go ahead, since it was banished, pay the life points, special summon itself. Then on special summon, our Red Ransom can go ahead. And we're just going to go ahead and banish our March Hare from the deck. You could also banish Malice in the Mirror, which would then banish Dourmous, and then Dourmous would go ahead and special summon itself back. We're just going to go ahead and do March Hare, get it back to our hand, even though we already have March Hare. I feel like that is just the more optimal line to always get March Hare in our hand. Now we can go ahead and use our Red Ransom and our White Rabbit and go into our Cyberse Wicked. Then if you have Link Disciple, you can go into Link Disciple with Chessy Cat, or we can just go ahead and do our Lingerable, does the same exact thing. Go into our Cyberse Wicked. Kid then triggers and banishes our Dourmous. So Dourmous gets banished. We're gonna go ahead and add our Extender, backup Ad Ignister from our deck to our hand. Dourmous can then go ahead, pay the life points and special summon itself from the banish zone, because we banished it with the Cyberse Wicked. Then we can go ahead, special summon our backup Ad Ignister. We just go ahead and discard our March Hare. And then backup Ad Ignister, after discarding, go ahead and add our Wizard Ad Ignister from our deck to our hand. Then we can go ahead and utilize all 3 of these, go into our Heart Scriptor. Then we can go ahead and utilize these 2 bodies and go into our White Binder. Then once White Binder is special summon, we can go ahead and banish our Heart Scriptor from our graveyard. And if our opponent has anything, if we're going second, obviously you'd want to banish stuff from their graveyard as well. And then Heart Scriptor can go ahead and special summon itself. We lose the life points once again. White Binder can then go ahead, activate, and set our GWC from our deck to our field. So we're gonna go ahead and set it here. I'm gonna keep it face up again, just so you guys know what's there. Then we can go ahead, target our Chessy Cat in our graveyard, special summon it along with our Wizard Ad Ignister. Then from here, you can use our Heart Scriptor to banish our White Binder. And then White Binder can go ahead, pay the life points, special summon itself back. And then on special summon, White Binder can go ahead and draw a card. Then we can go ahead and use White Binder, Wizard, and our Chessy Cat, and go into our Allied Code Talker Ad Ignister. And then Allied Code Talker can go ahead, add our White Binder and our Red Ransom back to our field, special summon them. And if they did try and negate that, we can go ahead and get rid of our Heart Scriptor and negate it. But we're gonna go ahead and just leave all 3 on the board for now. So we have a full hand still. We still have 4 cards. We have GWC set over here. And then now we have Allied Code Talker, which is a banish/negate. And then we still have our March Hare in our hand. And again, earlier when we did discard a card, obviously if we didn't have double March Hare, you would have just discarded one of your other cards and always have March Hare in your hand. And we can go ahead and set our Crossout Designator. Most likely would have utilized it, honestly. We would have ended up using it, but for now I'm just gonna go ahead and say they had 1 interruption. We set our Crossout, we have GWC set, 2 hand traps in hand, March Hare, and then a banish/negate on our side of the field. So the very first thing, once we do pass to our opponent, that we're going to want to do is we're probably going to go ahead and use our allied code talker to negate/banish one of their effects, and go ahead and send our white binder to the graveyard. And then again, from there, we're kind of off to the races, because then we can go ahead and utilize our March Hare to special summon itself, banishing our white binder, and the white binder can go ahead, come back to our side of the field, and the white binder would hopefully banish something from their graveyard. If not, we'd probably just go ahead and banish our white rabbit, maybe our Chessy Cat, just to have more stuff banished for our Heart Scripter. Oh yeah, that was something I did forget to do. So when our white binder banished stuff from our graveyard earlier, we probably would have had Chessy Cat in here because we would have had to put a card back for our Heart Scripter. So more than likely Chessy Cat would have been added to our deck earlier anyways. So for now, we're just gonna go ahead, banish our white rabbit. We can do March Hare, honestly, on white binder's special summon, and then we can just do TB11 as well. And then obviously we pay the life points, add March Hare back to our hand. White rabbit would go ahead and special summon itself back to our side of the field, and the white rabbit can then go ahead and activate. That's gonna go ahead and set our other trap card, our MTP07, so we have another form of disruption. And then also when white binder was banished and special summon, we would have drew another second card. So we got a Swallows, kind of a dead card, but it ends our deck anyways. And then now we still have TB11 for our Heart Scripter is now live as well for another banish. We'd put TB11 back into our deck and then banish one of our opponent's cards. We have the banish with MTP07. We obviously already used the allied code talkers, negate and banish, and then we still have Nib and Ash in hand. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 interruptions, 5 interruptions, possibly using the white binder if we would have banished from our opponent's graveyard. And then we still have Crossout and GWC over here, and then pretty much a crazy amount of follow-up as well. Again, the deck still pretty much does the same stuff. Even without Splash Mage, we're still able to extend a bit and go into our extra deck. I think the only thing missing from our other combo is we probably would have had a Firewall Dragon on our end board as well. But again, even through that interruption, we're able to create this crazy end board that has draws, it has follow-up, it has crazy boss monsters that do negates and banishes. And again, the deck is still just as powerful as it once was, just a little less consistent. But I feel like adding the Sky Striker stuff is okay for now. Again, I'm gonna be experimenting with this deck. You guys let me know in the comments, what do you guys think we should do? I feel like Malice fan base does have a bit of a toxic fan base for some reason. I don't know if it's just because it attracts the tier 1 players. But yeah, if you guys have any positive suggestions, let me know. Let me know if you want to see more combos, more test hands I can show you guys without Splash Mage. But for now, I think that's all I got for you guys, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.